No one should go to a match for ever team in fear and not in safety and security.
President Ceferin, who thanked myself and Joe for our involvement over the last 12 months for working with UEFA to bring about positive change for football.
What has been your involvement in terms of you personally and Spirit of Shankly and FSE?
Yeah, I think the first point of the journey really was around going to the French Senate in June last year, because our first priority and our only priority really at the time was to clear Liverpool fans' name, and that was the critical thing we wanted to do. So, we did that within what, 24, 25 days. I think we were the first non-French speaking individuals to go into the Senate and provide evidence, and it was with trepidation we went, to be quite frank.
And I'm proud to say that we came out of that room and we'd exonerated Liverpool fans. We'd killed the narrative of Hillsborough. Wasn't mentioned from that day to this day, which has probably saved lives. Let's not, by any stretch of the imagination, underestimate that. That has probably saved lives. And to receive a standing ovation from French senators, we're in their country, we were attacking their government, we were attacking their president and the French Interior Minister, whose resignation I'd asked for, because he was the first one to bring Hillsborough into play. And I was absolutely furious at that.
UEFA had been in the room early in the morning and we completely exposed the lies that they'd put together. And of course they'd already had their own French cabinet members in, and they know that they were lying as well. So they heard the truth from us. I suppose the next key stepping stone was on September the 24th, I think it was, when the UEFA investigation panel came to Liverpool to hear the testimonies of the fans who'd been there, but also testimonies of what we'd done to try and overcome the problems and get that experience. And
the process for us was to speak for the supporters of Liverpool Football Club and to bring real change into UEFA going forward, not just for Liverpool fans neither, for all football fans, from my own particular point of view, for disabled supporters who, it's horrific going around Europe as a disabled supporter. I'd be very surprised if UEFA ever hold an event in Paris ever again, or France.
Do you feel that UEFA have recognised their own role rather than blaming it all on the French authorities and the policing?
Yeah, certainly speaking to the Deputy Presidents, I'd say they certainly have.
And that was the level we've been working at. We've been right at the top level. Firmly believe that Theodorides is a man of integrity and honesty. Nothing's happened since that day that convinces me otherwise of that. I believe there will be positive change.
He was honest, he was forthright. He reflected, in a confidential way, some of the concerns that he'd had, and that he wanted to put right for the future. And you can only take people on their word, but we've seen some actions, as I say, ahead of the Europa final.
And last week, Theo's deputy, Giorgio Marchetti, you might know from the UEFA draws, he's the guy who sits there, thinks he's dead funny, and he actually is. Met him in person. He flew into Liverpool to meet with me last Wednesday, and while we were on, he took a call from President Ceferin, who thanked myself and Joe for our involvement over the last 12 months for working with UEFA to bring about positive change for football supporters. So we basically spoke to the 1, 2, 3 within UEFA.
We know that the FA have been in touch with us as well. We've had a long conversation with them because we were concerned that they hadn't done a great deal in terms of backing us really all the way through it. And we heard at the time that they backed Ceferin to be the president again, and that was at the same time that we were going through all this. And they've reflected on that and said that they were wrong.